When it comes to motorcycle nostalgia, there is not many modern machines that can replicate the charm of an old-school badass two-wheelers well known from a couple of decades back. Japanese big displacement bikes from 70s and 80s largely influenced the way motorcycle market evolved, but truthfully, modern stuff is mainly about performance. If you're somebody who wants a bit of a charismatic design relating to good old times, but still appreciates fairly modern tech and plenty of go on twist of the throttle, watch this video, as motorcycle featured here might just be a gem for you. The ZRX 1200R is the most sought after version out of the big ZRX family. 1200S Touring and utterly naked variations were also available for sale, but never really achieved the same level of following. One of the reasons why the big Rex gained such an exalted status is obviously its lineage. It was designed and built to closely resemble original Kawasaki KZ1000R, which together with Eddie Lawson kicked ass during AMA Superbike Championships. Who is Eddie Lawson? Well, I guess it's fair to describe him as a legendary American racer who got repeatedly titled for winning multiple championships on a variety of reputable racing venues. His green racetrack quack with unmistakable rectangular headlight was an example of styling to which ZRX strongly relates. Taking a closer look at all ZRXs in R-trim, all design similarities can be easily noticed. The seat, the rear and side panels, and overall curvature scream brotherhood resemblance. However, when it comes to tech, those two bikes are miles apart. Technologically, ZRX 1200 represents what you would class as a fairly modern bike with some classic features so adequate for the times it was released at. The less modern by today's standards are, for instance, 4CV carburetors. Carburetors in a motorcycle of this status seem like a blunder, but most probably Kawasaki wanted to keep the cost down, as the fuel injection was still somewhat of an exclusive commodity in 2001, when Rex entered the big nakeds arena. Brakes have what was a quality standard in early 2000s, 6-piston Tachikos at the front and ventilated discs at both ends. 4x1 exhaust system has black painted headers in early models, but stainless downpipes became standard in 2003. Ergonomically, ZRX is fantastic. Gauge cluster is neat and simple, but offers what's needed. Fuel gauge, trip meter for touring days, and decently visible clocks make it a pass in this category. Ride-in position is brilliant, as to be expected from a big naked. Seat is fairly soft and large enough to suit two adults. Placement of bars and pegs is generous and gives bags of comfort for those long-distance trips. Pillion comfort is also superb, thanks to side-mounted grips. So if you rode sports bikes for the last few years, like for instance I did, you will simply fall in love in Rex's wonderfully comfy riding stance. Hydraulically actuated clutch works fine, and a small fairing in conjunction with short screen provides some noticeable wind deflection, but bear in mind that above 70 miles per hour, wind blasts will become a nuisance to most of riders. Factory toolkit sits beneath the seat, same as the little storage area for those who carry food, rainproofs or a disc lock. What separated ZRX 1200R from its competition was a stonking power plant derived from equally iconic ZZR 1100. In 1990, ZZR 1100 claimed 146 horsepower and close to 180 miles an hour of top speed, which even today sounds concrete. Now imagine that ZRX 1200 had its engine reworked and enlarged by over 100 cc to reach 1164 of them to be exact. Obviously, an array of internal modifications brought the peak power down to 123 horsepower, but the fat and linear torque curve provide very impressive acceleration from almost a tick over. Let's be honest, 112 Nm of torque is big money in any currency, and even die-hard sports bike riders appreciate this brilliant engine's performance. This liquid-cooled 16-valve anvil is also very durable. Provided service intervals are obeyed, ZRX's mill will spin forever. Only gripe with this belter is the factory starter's chain tensioner, which can rattle over time, but aftermarket improved unit is cheap and easy to replace. So how expensive is the ownership of this beauty? Well, not too expensive to be honest. My recorded fuel mileage falls between 51 and 30 miles per UK gallon, getting better on slow highway cruising and dropping down when using full rev range on those somewhat crazy blasts. Prices of service parts such as brake pads, filters or plugs are no different to other popular Japanese bikes of this caliber. Tires are an expense and can go pretty quickly when bonkers accelerations take place too often. Servicing of the big wrecks is a joy, as access to most of serviceable components is easy and unproblematic. What is really fantastic, however, is the huge selection of accessories and bolt-ons still widely available for this motorcycle. Starting from just cosmetic add-ons improving looks, through to performance mods including exhaust systems, alloy radiators, flat slide carburetors, or even big bore piston kits, ZRX can be transferred to an absolute beast of a bike. But as always, it all depends on the depth of your wallet. So is the ZRX 1200R the most nostalgic machine available on used bikes market? Well, I would imagine many would say yes. It's probably one of the most sought after young timers too, provided it's in the right color. And we all know what that color is, don't we? Prices already started going up, so if 1200R is too expensive for you, then almost identical ZRX 1100R could be an option for far less money. Plenty of power, loads of comfort, spectacular looks and bags of character. Seriously, what else would you want from a motorcycle? Thanks for watching, till next time.
Well, thanks very much for this award. This is the second year in a row we've won this for the muscle bike, the ZRX 1200R. And of course it's been voted for by the journalists, and we all know that they're extremely difficult people to please. So if they're happy, we're happy, and I'm sure the customers will be happy.